I decided where my 1-point box was going to go, and then I drew it in, and I had already figured out where it was going to be, so I had laid my eye level according to where its vanishing point would fall. So now I know that my vanishing point is on that eye level right in front of where I'm standing, because it's a central vanishing point. I'm kind of starting to lightly get it drawn in, finishing that kind of transparent box. Then I'm drawing where this other box sits on top of it and sight where it goes, so you can use a sighting stick as well to sight where that box would fall. I'm figuring out the angle on this, and when I do that, I'm comparing it, making sure that I'm placing it where it should fall on here, and I'm putting my pin on my eye level. I'm getting the other side. Now the one thing to know is that all these boxes will fall on that eye level. So see, I have that yellow, the 2 yellow pins, and they will all be the same distance as those yellow pins are from each other, but at just at different spots on the eye level. And then taking that to that pin, so I know that that's my vanishing point, so I'm just sighting it to that pin. You can do this with strings too, but once you've gotten used to this, you don't really need to use the strings all the time. Now you can just start sighting. And just when it's something that's really complicated, then you might need them, but otherwise, as long as you know where your vanishing points are, you can sight right to them and you'll be okay. It's just important to know that they always have to fall on that eye level, and they will always be the same distance. Now I'm drawing from one corner to the other, and same thing on the other side, to make an inverted plane inside of this, because that's how I'm going to create this triangle shape form. I'm kind of rounding out the edges now because these aren't perfectly square. Now I'm drawing the front face of this cylinder shape, and I'm going to draw it in 1-point perspective, so it's going to go to that central vanishing point. This could be drawn in 1 or 2-point perspective, but 1 point is easier, so I'm just going to choose to do that at this point. So now I'm finding the center of the circle, making sure that everything that needs to go to the vanishing point does. I'm drawing in the ellipses, making sure that they are elliptical, and then connecting the sides. Using my sighting stick to sight not only the angles, but lining it up on the horizontal as well. I'm getting my angles for this, and notice they're the same distance. So now I'm using the blue pins. I'm just sighting the angles, and I'm looking at where they hit these other objects as well, because that helps me to line it up and also to get my proportions accurate. So drawing is also about seeing and looking and noticing, and that's really important. You know, where does it line up with this? And that's where you can use your sighting sticks. Just always keep making sure to go back to sighting, to making sure that everything is going to the vanishing point. I'm just kind of rounding things out a little bit. And cleaning it up. Now I'm going to draw this little wheel shape that's on the side here, and this just happens to be leaning up here, but it actually is going to the same vanishing points that the block that it's leaning up against is. Same as if something were on like the wheel of a car, for example. So this is going to be in 2-point perspective, and I'm drawing the basic box that it's in, and I'm lining that box up with everything else on this page so that the proportions are accurate. Just going back over that to darken it up so that you can see it. And I'm finding the center and making sure that that goes to the vanishing point. Just finding the center over here to make sure that that lines up when I do the back plane. And now I'm connecting my ellipse from the side to the top to the other side, making sure it looks elliptical. Now I'm doing the same thing to the back plane, making all of my divisions, and then coming in and making all of the connections. And then connecting them.